Skip, during the game, you tweeted that you'd rather have Jalen Hurts over Kirk Cousins any day or night. Shannon, you picked the Vikings.
Yep.
What's your response to this tweet from Skip?
No, I did not pick the Vikings. I picked the Vikings to get to the NFC Championship game. I didn't pick them last night. I picked the Eagles. Look, I think the thing is the way Jalen Hurts was playing last night, I think there are a lot of people that would rather have Jalen Hurts over a lot of quarterbacks, just not Kirk Cousins. I thought last night was one of the better games that he played. You look how well he threw the football, the interception carrying off Atwell's hand, and he could have really had a clean game. I think that's the first 300 passing yard game, 3 touchdowns with 2 rush touchdowns since Michael Vick did it on the Monday night against the Washington football team.
How well we remember.
I think that's when he did it. He launched the first play to like 70 yards to D-Jack. Mm-hmm. He looked really good. The weapons around him are spectacular. A.J. Brown has done wonders for that team. Devontae Smith is coming into his own. They still have reliable Dallas Goedert. And the one thing that they can do better than most teams is they can run the football. Not just with Sanders and the other guys, but Jalen Hurts. And I think the Minnesota Vikings forgot that Jalen Hurts has legs. I mean, they kept letting him get outside, and he ran for those 2 touchdowns. I'm like, dude, how you get food on the boot? You can't get food on the boot and let him get outside. He played really well. They have weapons defensively. I'm going to give credit to my homeboy. I did not know until last night that he was from Brunswick, Georgia, Darius Slay. I'm going to let him use the moniker Big Play Slay. Because the way he played last night and the number that he did on Justin Jefferson.
Oh, as opposed to Big Play Shay.
Yeah, you know, everybody know who the real big.
Okay.
But you know,
I thought it was actually one play Shay, but whatever.
Big play, one big play. That's all I have. But he played exceptionally well. He did an unbelievable job last night, understanding where his help was and not letting Justin Jefferson get going early. Kirk Cousins he didn't play well last night, Skip. And he knows and the thing with the Eagles and looking at them, they're a team that's not blitz heavy. But for some reason, they're like, you know what? We're going to heat up Kirk Cousins. Because he doesn't do well when adversities likes to strike, he likes to shrink in the moment. And he shrunk last night. Now, he had opportunity to make some plays. I thought Irv Smith Jr. dropped that long pass, Skip.
He did. That could have a nice throw. I'll give you that.
And that could have got him back in the game. And when you're struggling on the road, Skip, you need guys to step up and make plays. But they did not step up and make plays last night. Give Jalen Hurts credit. He seems like a guy that's been in the lab, that's getting better and better each game. He always processed the game really well. But it seemed like the game is really, really slowed down for him. And what makes him so difficult to defend, Skip, is because they can run the ball so well, you don't want to zone them off. So you have to play man coverage. So he knows pretty soon, oh, this man coverage, this is where I'm going with the football. I got Devontae in this matchup on the linebacker in the slot, running the angle route. I'm going to take that. I got A.J. Brown singing up. Let me take A.J. Dallas Goedert he played unbelievable last night with the amount of targets that he got. So the Eagles look really, really good, Skip. And we're going to talk about Buffalo a little later. The 2 best teams that I've seen, and I saw Buffalo up close and personal opening day against the Rams.
Yep.
The Bills and the Eagles are the 2 best teams from top to bottom that I've seen. Now, I've had the luxury of seeing the Bills up close and personal take apart the Rams. And without those 3 turnovers, that game might have been 50-14 or something like that. But the Eagles look good. The Eagles are the best team that I've seen thus far in the NFC. And I know it's only 2 weeks. We got 15 games to go. We got a long, long season to go. But right now, I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. Buffalo, the best team in the AFC.
What did I tell you sitting over on this side of the table all offseason, very long? What did I tell you again and again and again? Here come the Eagles. Mm-hmm. I also tweeted last night before I tweeted the one that we're talking about. I also tweeted, the Eagles scare the bleep out of me. And that's, I typed bleep. I didn't use any word, but you know what I was thinking.
Right.
But they do. They scare the bleep out of me, and they have the whole offseason because they got way better while the Cowboys seemed to just idle, just sit still and do virtually nothing. And you kept telling me, well, it's all about Jalen Hurts, and you were never sold on him because you didn't think he threw the ball consistently well enough to take them places that they haven't already been. They made the playoffs last year, and they got basically blown out by the GOAT at the GOAT.
Yes.
And they used that as their rallying cry throughout the offseason. So you're starting to see Jalen Hurts, just to be clear about this, you're starting to see him evolve into a big-time, top-level quarterback.
I'm not sold yet, Skip. Only one of his 33 throws last night were in the tight windows. That's the easiest of his career. So basically, he was shooting fish in a barrel last night. Now, that's not his fault because we've seen him have wide-open receivers before and not be able to make those throws. But what I am seeing is that when the opportunity presents itself for him to make throws, he's making throws. He's reading the defense, taking what they're giving him, and when he has an opportunity to make a throw, he made it. It's 2 games, Skip. We're 2 games in. We got 15 games to go.
I believe in Jalen Hurts. I've told you that from the start. But before I get to my guy, Jalen Hurts, I want to talk about your guy, Kirk Cousins, because I've never believed in him. And by the way, I think he's a good guy off the field. I think he's really a great guy off the field. So this is nothing personal.
Right.
I just don't trust him.
Right.
When you most believe that you can trust him, you can least trust him.
Expectations.
Okay.
And I have them now.
He's got the haywire gene in him. Big game, big night game, look out below. He's going to unravel right before your very eyes. And he really unraveled last night because they actually had 2 or 3 legit chances in the second half to at least make it a football game, right?
Yep.
And he threw 2 red zone picks, including one that should have been picked before the one that was picked, which was the third one. So just to, if you happen to miss the game last night, let's just plow through Kirk Cousins unraveling, if we could, please. Here's the first one. That's like, it might have been it was a bad route by Justin Jefferson, but and this is just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. It's a double coverage. Right here, you can't do it. And this is the one that should have been picked by Slay. Now, I have no idea where he was throwing the football.
Well, he's trying to, with Skip, he see that coming with the blitz, and he's back on his back foot.
And he gets that one. It's like, if at first you don't succeed, fail again, right?
That ball, Skip, by the time when Justin Jefferson makes the nod inside to let him know that ball needs to be up in the air. And it needs to be at the back pylon. Because if it's short, you see what's going to happen. And both throws were short. Okay. He knows he's got to let that ball go a lot quicker.
I just don't believe in him. I don't trust him at the highest level. He's got some talent.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, what is over a decade? This is 11th year.
Unbelievable. He is simply, period, end of story, the most overpaid quarterback in the history of professional football because he kept playing the system for all it was worth in Washington, franchise tag. And then all of a sudden, Minnesota jumps in desperation and says, we don't have a quarterback. We have to overpay for him. They gave him $84 guaranteed million.
$28 million. He was the first to get a fully guaranteed contract.
He got it. And then they re-upped with him. Yeah. And he's still there, still afloat, because he teases you. And you say, well, God, could we do better with him or him? No, we could. We got to stay with Kirk Cousins because it was Case Keenum who threw the Minnesota Miracle. So we go back to, they've been struggling at quarterback for so long, and yet he'll take you only this far, and then he will blow you apart.
You know what happens, Skip? He plays just well enough to keep you around the 18, 19, 20th mark picking. So all the really good quarterbacks that you could potentially want in the draft, Skip, they're already gone, or it's going to cost you so much to get them. So they pick 18th, 19th, they're able to get Justin Jefferson and not Justin Herbert. So that's what he does. He plays just well enough, Skip, to keep you out of the hand, keep your hands off a great quarterback.
Even his pocket stature is so weak to me. It's like scarecrow weak, where if you do heat him up a little bit, he'll start to get happy feet and start to unravel. And he always looks to me like a little kid wearing an oversized helmet. His helmet always looks too big for him. He just looks like childlike. He looks frail in the pocket to me. So in the end, all I know is that where I formed my strongest opinions of Kirk Cousins is he's 2-8 against my Cowboys. And I'm going to remind everybody, the last 2 years, back-to-back, my team went up to his place up in Minneapolis with backup quarterbacks, Andy Dalton and Cooper Rush. We're going to talk about Cooper Rush in just a moment. And beat Kirk Cousins in his building back-to-back with our backups. So that's all I know. Dak owned Kirk Cousins. And last night, that was a big stage game. They were coming off a huge opening day victory over the Green Bay Packers, and they look like world beaters. And you thought, here we go. And it's Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, I'm down, I'm out. I never was in on it.
But see, Skip, here's the thing. He's terrible in night primetime games. The best part about this, in the playoffs, there are no night primetime games. So I'm counting on Kirk. I'm counting on Kip.
You just better. All right, now to Jalen Hurts, where we have disagreed from the start. He's not the greatest thrower of the football, but he has worked so hard with my friend Tom House out here in Los Angeles. He works out of Southern Cal at USC. And Brady's worked with him, and Breeze worked with him, and to name somebody, they've worked with Tom House, who used to be, I got to know him when he was the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers. Nolan Ryan was almost his product late because Nolan threw a no-hitter when he was 45, Brady's age.
Yeah.
And Tom was in the middle of that, and he revolutionized how baseball pitchers threw footballs in the outfield. So anyway, he's a throwing mechanics guru. Jalen has worked hard. He's more upright now. He's much more over the top with it. And his touch is better. His accuracy is better. His confidence is better. I think his velocity has gotten a little bit better than his days at Alabama and then Oklahoma. What I love about him is he is the unquestioned leader of that franchise. Yeah. And that's what Kirk Cousins, Jalen is the flip side of Kirk Cousins because I don't think they follow Kirk Cousins at all. He can have a hot hand occasionally, and it's just good enough to keep Justin Jefferson barely happy and Thielen barely happy. But in the end, Jalen is the man in that locker room, in the weight room, in the huddle, on the sideline, because they know when it's time to play, he's going to give them everything he has got. Right. He is as physically and mentally tough as anybody on that roster, and that is a loaded roster right now.
I'll give you that.
So we got leader, we got gamer, we got baller, we got playmaker, and the playmaking comes with arm now. It's getting better and better, and legs. And that run that he made, if we could see the long touchdown run, what he did at the end of it, this is, not many quarterbacks will do this down near the goal line.
Oh, he lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, if we got it.
Skip, I think the first one was even more impressive.
Yeah.
When he bulldozed like 3 guys.
Well, I think that's what we're about to get.
No, this the second one.
Okay, this is the one where he's still he's just carrying. There are 4 Vikings there, and he just spins through all of them, and it's sheer power because they say pound for pound. I've not seen this with my own eyes, but pound for pound, he's as strong as anybody on that
He probably
roster.
got a 550, 600-pound squat.
He does. He does. I think he's 600 for sure. So all that works in his favor because he's won his teammates over.
Right.
And again, is he John Elway with a cannon, or Dan Marino, or is he Josh Allen or my homeboy with a cannon? No, but it's pretty good, and it's getting better. He's a coach's son who is completely and utterly dedicated to this process of getting to be the best he can be. And I think Philly's just flat out lucky to have him.
The thing that, and Skip, I was really hesitant, and I thought they would probably go back into the draft and look for another quarterback. But I think Philly needs to get credit for taking their time and developing a young quarterback. A lot of times we don't see them. They'll give time, but to young black quarterbacks, they move off them relatively quick. And Philly says, you know what? No, we believe if we give this guy some talent, put some talent around him, give him another year, give him 2 years, I think we might have something special here. I think we might have something special. We don't need to move up and mortgage our future. How about just stand pat? Maybe, hey, one of these big-time receivers are available. They know they made a mistake in selecting Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, but they should say, you know what? Hey, we can go get A.J. Brown, still keep our draft picks, not have to mortgage to move up or up to try to get a quarterback. So to see them do that and to see him reward them for their faith in him. And that means a lot, Skip. Sometimes you just look. I understand. I know Jalen Reagor. We hear all professional athletes say, I have the utmost confidence in me. But sometimes you need one other person. And Howie Roseman was that one other person because everything moves and slides up and down with the stroke of his pen. And he's like, you know what? I believe in this kid. I believe he can get it done.
And Jalen Reagor.
And Jalen, no, I'm saying no. And
Jalen Hurts. Okay.
I'm saying he believed they needed one guy. He needed one other guy to believe in him.
I got
because he believed in himself. He believed all along that he could be a quarterback.
Absolutely. Quick thought on Reagor. You knew his father.
I knew his father. I played with his dad, Monte.
Okay. I hated for him to get booed by the Philly fans, but they'll boo Santa Claus.
They booed everybody.
I got it. But they were just booing him every touch all night long. It wasn't his fault he got drafted. It was Howie Roseman's fault. So if you want to boo somebody, boo Howie. I fell out of my chair because it was soon after the C.D. Lamb pick. And then Justin Jefferson sitting on the board. What are you doing?
I was shocked. I was like, Jalen, that name sounds familiar. I wonder if that's... So I called my other homeboy, like, that's Monte's son.
The other thing that I loved about Jalen Hurts last night was first throw of the game, he stands right up and hits Devontae Smith with a pass because Devontae was the forgotten man at Detroit when they won.
He didn't catch any passes.
Okay, he didn't catch a ball. And I'm not even sure they threw him a ball. Maybe they threw him a couple balls, but he didn't catch one. And guess who? Jalen's just saying, okay, here we go.
Right.
I want you to know. I want you to be ready because the first one's coming to you.
Yep.
And he caught it. And he threw him 7 balls last night, and he caught all 7 of them for 80 yards.
Yep.
That's leadership to me. That's how you own and operate a locker room and a team. That's how you do it.
Right.
You just say, you're my guy. I went because AJ is his soulmate. You know, they're very close. They work out together in the offseason, but he wants Devontae to know he's just as important. And look at how he spread the wealth last night.
We got to keep everybody happy.
Okay, everybody got happy because he got Goddard 82 yards, and then AJ got 69 yards, and Quez got 69 yards, including the 53-yarder.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking on that, Skip. That's quarter coverage.
Let's look at it real quick.
What did the safety do?
Quez walked in 53-yarder.
Well, since we watched it, can you tell what the safety's doing?
Okay, everybody's playing zone, but nobody wants it. I don't know why. They just let him run right through them. But Jalen threw this on a line and hit him right in stride. And, again,
you see what it's saying?
I don't know what they're doing. They just let him run, and then they're looking at each other like, I thought you had him. I don't know. Jalen lost his job at Alabama to Tua.
Yes.
Because he wasn't making all of those kind of throws.
Yes.
And last night, he made it in prime time, and he was still smart. He talked after the game. He says, I remember what happened to us the last time on Monday Night Football. Well, they went to Dallas and got clocked by the Cowboys, remember?
Yes.
So he takes everything to heart and is driven by losing to the Cowboys on Monday night and losing to Brady in a playoff.
Well, that's good. But if you can take it to heart, but what are you going to do about it? Are you going to spend time in the lab? Are you going to get better in the offseason?
Yes,
and it seems that he's gotten better in the offseason.
Yeah.
Give Philly credit for surrounding him with talent and making the job easy. A.J. Brown is going to make his job a lot easier because they're going to have to probably double him, and that means Devontae and Goddard getting a single coverage. Kez Watkins. They signed Pascal. I think Pascal came over for Indy. They have weapons, and they can run the football. Sanders is electric. Jalen Hurts, with his leg, they got a very good offensive line, Skip. They did a very good job. Hurts kind of ran himself into that one sack that he got.
He did.
Probably should have stepped up instead of bounced it. The left tackle pushed him around, and he got sacked. But they look good. Hey, they look good.
Every time I watch Darius Slay play somebody where he takes somebody and says, you're mine, Justin Jefferson last night, to me, he's a little better. I'm talking about just sheer cover corner. Than Jalen Ramsey is. Just sheer cover. Jalen just plays on sheer because he's bigger, stronger. Jalen clues more. Jalen will get beat more where he just lets his mind drift a little bit and he'll let somebody run by him.
Well, it's hard for me to argue that now. Ram hadn't had the best, starting this season and going into last season, the way he finished last season, he hadn't had his best 4 or 5 games. Slay is probably more of a technician.
He is.
More fundamentally sound.
I think he's I think he's a film studier. I think he knew every move Justin Jefferson makes last night, and Justin didn't in-cut on the throw.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip. Slay knows he had. I can't let him inside. You do all you could go. Hey, go to wherever you want to go. You want to go to Gino? You want to get a Philly cheesesteak?
He did.
Go outside.
That's what he said.
I'm not moving from inside because I know if you come back in here, I'm going to pick it. Now, if they run the back shoulder fade, you got me.
I agree.
But I am not letting you cross my face.
He did not. He cut him off at the pass, and Kirk threw it to the pass.
Yes.
And Slay said, thank you very much.
Looked like he was running a bang 8, skinny post.
And Slay caught it and just kept running all the way across the field out of bounds and handed it up to James Harden sitting in the front row.
You watch him throughout the game, Skip. He knows that, they ran what we call, and I think in the West Coast system, they still call it this. We call it a shake route where he skims inside and gives you the nod to the post, and he runs to the corner. Slay said, I'm not worried about that. I'm vulnerable to the 7 route. He gives him that move. Slay jumps in his hip pocket and races him to the 7. Kurt's like, nah, I ain't got it. If you understand, Skip, know where I'm vulnerable. I don't care you do all that other stuff. I'm vulnerable to the 7. I'm going to get in your hip and I'm going to beat you to the 7. If I'm vulnerable to the 7, I'm not going to let you catch the 7. If I'm vulnerable inside, I'm not going to let you inside. I see week after week, and I'm telling defensive guys, do not let an offensive player cross your face. How many times we see him let him cross his face, Skip? That's an easy throw. It's right. The quarterback, see him right there. Don't let him cross your face. Slay understood where he was vulnerable, wouldn't get beat in his vulnerable spot, and that's why he got 2 picks.
I got it. Bottom line for me, lifelong diehard Cowboy fan.
Y'all in trouble.
we're in some trouble because they have a little easier schedule, especially early than we have. They could just roll for a while.
I don't want to hear about no easy schedule.
Well, y'all got one.
Because you were just harping early. We got it. Once we get past the first two games, Tampa and Cincinnati.
I just like our closing schedule. I like our last 7. We could go 7-0 down the stretch.
Y'all gonna be so far behind, it ain't gonna matter.
Okay, well, you could be right about this, but the one thing that gives me heart here is I'm not sure the Eagles' defense is the highest quality.
No.
Okay, I think it's top 10-ish, but not top 5-ish. All I know, bottom line is, I got Micah and they don't. It's as simple as that.
The question is, do you trust your defense more against their offense, or do you trust your offense more against their defense? Because that's what it's going to come down to. Because strength on strength, I agree with you. I believe Philly's offense is the strength of their team. Yep. I believe the Cowboys' defense is the strength of their team.
It is.
Who takes care of the football and not put their team in harm's way?
I got 11 from heaven.
Okay.
And he's a flat-out difference maker, and they don't have that.
Well, they got Jalen. They say, we got Jalen Hurts, and y'all all got him. Say, our quarterback.
Now you're driving this bandwagon.
I'm just saying what the Eagle fans are saying.
I tried to tell you.
We got Hurts.
Tried to warn you.
It is going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Jalen's going to hurt.
He's almost making me liking the Eagles.
To your point,
what we got, Jenny?
it was a historic performance for Hurts last night. An 80-plus completion percentage, 300-plus passing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He's the first player in NFL history to combine all those in the same game.
See? Now put that on
bright
Cowboys.
For that, young man. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.